Is this thing on? We have a very important announcement regarding RockShox's products. Today, we see the release of the brand new 3.1 damper. Contained within this small plastic bag right here are all of the components that you need to upgrade a Charger 3 fork to the brand new 3.1. We're gonna dive into what the new Charger 3.1 is all about and help you decide if a simple upgrade or a brand new fork is the right move for you. 2 years ago, we were in this very studio talking about the all-new RockShox suspension lineup. At that time, we saw the release of the new Charger 3 damper, the introduction of buttercups, and a more defined segmentation of the RockShox lineup. Each fork from the Pike, Lyric, and the Zeb saw a specific travel range to help make it easier to choose the right fork for the right application. The Charger 3 damper saw RockShox introduce truly independent high and low speed compression adjustment, and that was all thanks to them ditching their old bladder style dampers found on the Charger 2 and 2.1 for their new springback IFP, which is found on the Charger 3, and of course now the new Charger 3.1 damper. So after 2 amazing years of Charger 3, it was time to give the damper an upgrade, and that is where Charger 3.1 comes into play. On the new Charger 3.1 damper, you have the same number of clicks for high and low speed compression found at the top of your fork, as well as that nice, well-defined center starting point, which I personally love, because it's easy to find your way back to your base settings. However, with the same number of clicks, RockShox has given the new damper a wider range of adjustment. On the low speed compression side of things, when in the fully open position, there is 68% more oil flow, giving the forks a softer feel than before. Then on the high speed compression side of things, when fully closed, there is more support for bigger hits. The wider range of damping will help you more easily find that sweet spot in your personal settings. So, when you're running through your clicks, each one is going to have a more well-defined kind of feeling to it out on the trail. To complement the higher flow rate of oil in your damper system, RockShox did have to update the IFP spring to a stiffer spring. Yes, these are still air-sprung forks, but within your damper, there is this little spring, and RockShox has introduced a stiffer one in order to give you a better ride feel. What I'm most excited about is seeing RockShox offer these upgrade kits rather than saying, hey, you have to buy an all-new fork in order to get the benefits of the new system. RockShox is also offering shim tune kits to really allow the consumer to more easily fine-tune their suspension to their exact liking. Let's dive into what it takes to get the new Charger 3.1 damper on your bike. First option for getting the new Charger 3.1 damper is, of course, a new fork. A whole new fork is going to be your most expensive option, but Charger 3.1 will be available in the Pike, the Lyric, and of course, the Zeb here. The Pike still gonna be available in that black and silver color, Lyric available in black and that underrated heavy meadow green color, and then of course, the RockShox Zeb will be available in a new color. You're gonna have electric red, black, and of course that matte gray color still available and equipped with the new Charger 3.1 damper. I am actually going to be throwing this electric red fork on my current bike. I have been running Charger 3 forks for the last several years, so kind of expect to throw this one on there and feel right at home. Let's say you do already own a Charger 3 fork and you just want to make the upgrade without buying a whole new fork. You got 2 options. You can either do a damper assembly or the upgrade kit. Your first option is getting a whole new damper assembly. Pretty easy service that most home mechanics will be able to perform on their own, following RockShox handy dandy service guides that they do have available, and a full damper assembly is gonna run you about 360 bucks. It's a lot cheaper than buying a whole new fork. While doing this upgrade, probably a good time to do fork seals and fluids. If you don't want to do that, any shop should be able to perform this pretty easily, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Like I have already mentioned several times, this little baggie here is what I am most excited about. This is the Charger 3.1 piston upgrade kit, and this is kind of where all the magic for 3.1 happens. As we look inside the kit, we see there is piston assembly, the updated IFP spring, tuning shims, and the high flow piston tool. Let's be honest, you've probably got a Charger 3 fork. You've had it for the last 2 years. Probably done some seals and some fluids. Probably haven't done the 200-hour service that you should be doing. Yes, that's me. When you perform a 200-hour service, This kit right here is an easy install. All part of tearing down that damper to do a full damper service at that 200-hour mark. This can all be installed as you're putting it back together. These kits, best part is 75 bucks. You got 75 bucks for the upgrade kit, 360 for a new damper, and about 1,100, 1,200 bucks for a whole new fork. Time for a 200-hour service. You have a Charger 3.1. This is the kit that you're gonna wanna get for 75 bucks. Any home mechanic who's pretty competent, has all the tools, you could do this at home, or when you take it into your local shop, like Fanatik, you can have us install damper upgrade kit to your Charger 3 fork, and it's gonna come back to you as a brand new Charger 3.1. Earlier, I had mentioned shim kits, and that's kind of a new addition that RockShox's is offering. If you buy a new fork or a new damper, it's gonna come with their standard tune. So this tune is kind of developed by RockShox's to fit the widest range of riders. But we all know that there are lighter riders, there are heavier riders, or they're just like more aggressive or less aggressive riders who want, you know, lighter rebound tunes, heavier tunes, and RockShox's is now offering those with all of this 3.1 stuff, and I'm really excited to see that. So on the compression side of things, you're gonna have your standard tune and your heavier compression tune. Those are gonna be your two options. And then on the rebound side of things, that is where you're gonna have a lighter tune, a standard tune, and a heavier tune. Again, these are things that your shop can easily be doing when they've got your forks opened up to do service. Tune kits will be available aftermarket. It's basically just one kit and it has all the different shims in it. And again, you can figure out the configuration of these shims in RockShox's service guides, which are readily available on their website, and the Trail Forks app, which actually gets an update today as well. Our coworker BK here at the shop has been running a Charger 3 equipped Lyric for a little bit, but because these new upgrade kits are available, we are gonna take this over to our mechanics and we are gonna have them install it on BK's fork. So we're gonna take the camera over there, get in their way, annoy them, and make them install this kit for BK. So let's go. All right, we are out of the studio and we are over here in the service department with Nick, one of our mechanics who does a lot of the suspension service. We've got a Charger 3 fork here, and we've got the new Charger 3.1 upgrade kit. You've done 200-hour services on these dampers. So it's not too much more work, I don't think.
We're gonna find out.
So there's the kit, there's the fork.
Sweet.
Let's dive into this thing.
They give you a new one of those. So the valving is actually gonna be completely different. Feels good, but I feel like it could feel like 0.1 better, you know? That's your butter right there.
That's your buttercups.
Well, supposedly there's a big spring in here that's gonna jump out at me.
Out with the old spring.
Out with the old spring, let's see.
A lot of money that the new spring is a lot lighter, maybe? Or is it
Stiffer, actually.
stiffer?
Yeah, it's definitely stiffer, for sure. That one's stiffer. Yep. With this stuff, because it's very fragile. Made out of soft metal. There's your rebound valve assembly. All reboundy. You can tell because it's red. That's all from your guys' suspension. That's all from your shocks.
And that's why we do suspension service.
And this is what's gonna house your compression. And that's your IFP down there, that little white guy that we're eventually gonna pull out. That's going to be way bigger flow than that one. And this is your low speed compression assembly. This is your high speed. On the new one there is a channel that runs all the way around here. And there is not one here. Yeah, I mean there's a clear difference. Much more flow, which is what you want. You want more flow. So basically it looks like with the new 3.1 you have the option to adjust the compression tune. Looks like by taking apart the shim stack assembly we can replace a couple of shims which they have supplied here for us, also using their special tool, and we can lay it out so that we can have a standard or a heavy tune, which is actually pretty sweet. Not everybody rides the same, not everybody weighs the same. Most bikes are different. We're gonna take apart the rebound assembly here and replace some parts. Looks like we're gonna put a spring in there, so maybe we have some quicker return for our damping. Remove this shim and this spacer right here. Came off the rebound assembly and we added a spring. So it looks like we're at the point right now where if you were going to change the shim stack for your preference, you would go ahead and do that right now. But we're going to continue with the stock shim stack. So in the service guide, they do actually have the rebound tunes listed here, so you can lay your shim stack out and make sure it's appropriately reassembled, which is really nice.
I mean, my select level, so I don't really have a ton of adjustment.
Yeah, we're just setting the IFP depth right now. The new assemblies, lubricating them, getting them into their spots. Gotta make sure everything lines up. Being able to really see how the ports open and close is quite amazing. You guys have no idea what you're riding, but we get to see it all. There and a little pin there. And you just gotta make sure all that matches up nice and snug. Keeps it in its place. I'm gonna close that system up. I mean, we could probably get like a little sticker. Right there's where we want it. There you are. Well, the service wasn't so bad, honestly. After doing about one or two, it'd probably be under an hour service. There was a noticeable difference in the parts that we swapped out, and even just doing like a normal bench test, you can notice the difference. Seems like there's a lot more adjustability. Be sweet to get it out on the trail and see what it's like.
Thanks, Nick.
Oh yeah.
All right, so there you have it. We were able to take BK's Charger 3 equipped fork and convert it to the new 3.1 damper internals. Hope that was entertaining for you. Hope you got the info you are looking for. Charger 3.1 isn't the only new product that RockShox is introducing today though. We are also seeing updates to the Super Deluxe Air with a couple cool upgrade options, as well as the introduction of the new Vivid coil featuring their touchdown damper. So if you want to learn a little bit more about those, you can check out this video that we will link to right up here. And we hope you enjoyed our video. We're going to get out on the trails, ride these new forks, see what we think about them, and we'll see you next time.